They say words are weapons and anger, the fuel of the unbridled warrior. But what if I told you that the deadliest force lies not in the roar of fury, but in the calculated, unyielding power of silence? In a world where insults are flung like daggers, and every slight is designed to provoke, your silence becomes a force so potent that it shatters the very foundation of your adversary's expectations. Today, I challenge you to understand that your silence will break them in ways that anger never could. I was once a soul who believed in the virtue of speaking out, in the righteousness of firebrand retorts. I would let my anger burst forth like a wildfire, scorching everything in its path. But with every furious outburst, I realized I was giving my enemies exactly what they wanted, the sound of my weakness, the proof of my vulnerability. They reveled in my noise, fueling their own arrogance with every word I spewed. Then, in the quiet aftermath of a shattered argument, I discovered a truth so profound it altered the course of my destiny. When I learned to hold my tongue, when I allowed silence to fill the void, I found that my very presence transformed into an unspoken force that demanded respect and left my enemies disarmed, questioning, and ultimately defeated. In the dead of night, when the world is asleep and the echoes of past insults haunt every corner of your mind, there is a moment of clarity. It is in that moment, in the stillness that follows the storm of anger, that you realize the true measure of power lies not in the loud declarations of defiance, but in the quiet strength that resides in your core. Each time you refrain from shouting back, each time you choose silence over the chaos of reaction, you reclaim a piece of your dignity. You prove to the world that you are more than the sum of your outbursts. You are a being whose inner power speaks louder than any scream of power, so deep, so relentless, that it breaks the will of those who seek to control you. I remember the days when every insult, every bitter remark felt like a crack in the armor of my spirit. I used to let the venom of their words dictate my reaction, to let anger fuel my every move. But I soon realized that anger, however fierce, is like a burning flame that consumes both the wielder and the target. It leaves scars on your heart and muddies the clarity of your mind. In contrast, silence is a refined outer weapon, honed by those who understand that sometimes the most devastating blow is delivered not by noise, but by a steady, unyielding presence. My silence became my shield and my sword, a silent declaration that I would no longer be defined by the shallow expectations of a world obsessed with reaction. Instead, I chose to let my silence speak for itself, a quiet force that shattered the false narratives and left my detractors speechless. When I look in the mirror now, I no longer see the person who once trembled at every harsh word. I see the reflection of someone who has harnessed the power of stillness to transform every painful memory into a source of strength. Every scar that mars my skin is not a symbol of defeat, but a medal of honor proof that I have survived the worst that life could offer. I learned that true victory is not measured by the volume of your voice, but by the unwavering resolve that emerges when you hold your silence in the face of relentless adversity. They thought that by provoking me, they would force me into a cycle of rage. Instead, with every deliberate pause, I built an inner fortress that no amount of noise could penetrate. My silence became the force that broke them, because when you refuse to engage with shallow insults, you force your adversaries to confront the emptiness of their own words. Imagine the effect of this quiet power on those who try to belittle you. Picture a room where everyone expects you to erupt in anger, only to be met with a calm, impenetrable silence. In that stillness, your enemies are forced to confront their own inadequacy. Their arguments crumble, their insults become echoes that fade away in the face of your unspoken strength. Your silence is a mirror, reflecting back their weaknesses and exposing the hollowness behind their fury. It is a weapon that dismantles their confidence without a single word, leaving them paralyzed in the void of their own impotence. They will never understand that your silence is the deadliest weapon of all. It is the echo of every battle fought, the mark of every victory won over a world that sought to crush you. With every step you take, you rewrite the story of your life, a story not of surrender, but of relentless resurgence. Your scars, your silent defiance. If this message strikes a chord deep within you, if you're ready to rise above the noise and let your silence echo with the force of a revolution, then subscribe, like, and share this video with every soul yearning for true power.